Met with law enforcement from around the nation to talk about stricter gun control laws. Now, the hope is that with the backing of law enforcement, Congress will push through new laws the president's been calling for. But what about law enforcement not being behind the president's plan? Ben has the reality check you won't see anywhere else.
Well, there is one group of law enforcement who have been very vocal about the president's calls for tighter gun control laws, along with his 23 executive directives signed about 2 weeks ago. That group of law enforcement, county sheriffs from across the country. In fact, there are now 228 county sheriffs across the nation and a number of sheriff associations that have come out vowing to defend the Constitution. In order to do that, they say they will not enforce any federal law that violates the Second Amendment rights of the people in their counties. That list includes sheriffs from Washington, Alabama, Utah, New Mexico, Texas, Florida, California, Kentucky, Ohio, just to name a few. In fact, it is a sheriff from Kentucky who says he was the first to make this stand that seems to have rapidly spread across the nation. He is Sheriff Denny Payman from Jackson County, Kentucky, and he spoke with me by phone.
Signed a letter. I was actually the first sheriff to make a stand, and about 3 days later is when our Oregon sheriff did, and then some others followed with that. The way it's been kind of displayed is these are suggestions that we'll talk about, but then it's all of a sudden gone to, no, these are what we're going to enforce. Well, they're not going to be enforced here.
Now, we went through that list of President Obama's 23 executive orders on guns, and the reality is most of them are simply memos to federal agencies about giving instruction, which, in fairness, is exactly what an executive order is supposed to consist of. From what we can tell, the list of 23 does not really include any new laws on guns via executive order, which is what Sheriff Payman says he is looking out for.
This is my feeling, okay, and I believe I'm on the right track. Is what they're doing. They're trying to find a soft spot. They're trying to crack the door. Okay, well, if they'll accept that, let's chip away at that amendment a little bit. I know the people of my county well enough. I know the people that still have basically a patriotic blood that runs through them and that still stand on the Constitution. And I'm not going to disarm those people. These are the good citizens. These are the people that are trying to protect each other and themselves. And to disarm one of them is why the Second Amendment was created. But to have the federal people don't have business in here doing that. They cannot walk in and disarm people in Jackson County.
So what this means for you, for those of you in Ohio and Kentucky, 2 county sheriffs have made this commitment in Ohio, 6 in Kentucky. That includes the sheriffs of Boone, Kenton, and Claremont counties. Sheriff Payman says the reason for the pledge is simple. At the end of the day, the sheriff says it is his oath of office to protect the people of his county. And he says that happens in part by protecting the constitutional rights of the people living in his county. And that is Reality Check.